अजीत जी, हेलो।
सर
अभी बात हुई मेरी। सर अभी जस्ट पहुंचे हैं सह्याद्री से, तो हो जाएंगे वो। अपना शुरू कर दीजिए, वो कह रहे हैं ही विल ज्वाइन
ओके
सून।
जी। Right, sir. So, with the permission of the chief guest, so we may proceed and start the today's webinar. So, I think Shivani,
Yes, sir.
yeah, please.
Good afternoon to all, one and all present here. I feel extremely privileged and honored to be given this opportunity to welcome you all on the Sensitization and Implementation Program for the Student Learning Assessment PARAKH. Myself, Shivani Jain, Data Analyst in Student Learning Assessment PARAKH. I welcome you all on the behalf of AICTE Student Learning Development Cell. Before we carry on this event, I would like to give my regards and appreciation to our Chief Guest, Shri Vikas Chandra Rastogi, Principal Secretary to the Government of Maharashtra, Higher and Technical Education. I welcome you, sir. I also welcome Professor Anil D. Surbudi, Honorable Chairman AICT, as a guest of honor. I welcome you, sir. Professor Dilip Malkhede, Vice Chancellor, Sant Gage, Baba Amravati University. As a special guest, Dr. Uddhav Bhosle, Vice Chancellor, Swami Ramanand Tirth, as a special guest, Dr. Abhay Vaug, Director, Directorate of Technical Education, Maharashtra, as a special guest. I welcome you all, sir. And I also thanks to our regional officer, Western Region, Dr. Ajit Singh. From the behalf of Student Learning Cell, I welcome you all. I also welcome all the other delegatories and head of the institute, faculty member and the students and other participants who have joined the webinar on the implementation of PARAKH in their respective institutes. We are truly delighted with your presence. We would like to start with the worship, this program, with the worship of Goddess Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge, speech, wisdom, and the learning. So I request Mr. Vivek, IT professional, to play the video for the Saraswati Puja. I call Mr. Vivek to play.
या कुन्देन्दु तुषारहारधवला या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावरदण्डमण्डितकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करप्रभृतिभिः देवैः सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निःशेषजाड्यापहा।
Thank you, Vivek. Now I officially welcome Amit Datta, sir. Well, a good assessment gives a equal opportunity to the student to fully demonstrate their learning. To enlighten us more on the student learning assessment PARAKH, I invite Director Student Development Cell, Dr. Amit Datta, to share his views on the PARAKH and motivate our students, faculty members to take the assessment in the PARAKH. Amit Datta, sir.
Thank you, Shivani, for welcoming, and thank you for the opportunity to welcome on this occasion. A very warm good afternoon to all. Honorable Chairman AICT, respected Professor Anil D. Sahasbudhe, sir. Shri Vikas Rastogi ji, Principal Secretary, Higher and Technical Education from the state of Maharashtra. Professor Dilip Malkhede, sir ji, Vice Chancellor, Sant Khadge Baba University, Amravati. Professor Uday Bhosle ji, Vice Chancellor, Swami Ram Tirth University, Maharashtra. Shri Abhay Wagh ji, Director, Technical Education from the state of Maharashtra. Dr. Ajit Singh, Western Region Officer from AICTE. All the academic leaders and dear students. It's my proud privilege to address and welcome this august gathering of visionary and academic leaders from the state of Maharashtra. Despite rapid increase in the quantity and technical students in India, however, little is known about their quality. In particular, less information is available about the major specific competencies, knowledge, and soft skills of individuals. So in this project, we want to assess the technical knowledge, creativity, cognitive skills of undergraduate and the postgraduate students of India. Earlier, the similar project was implemented by the Stanford University, USA. They have implemented this student assessment for various countries such as USA, China, Russia, and India. For India, they have selected approximately 167 technical institutions for their studies. In the past, AICTE, in collaboration with the Stanford University, has implemented a small-scale program to assess and improve the skill of engineering students in India. The AICTE is going to implement, and it has already been installed and been executed, a large-scale program to assess the improve the skills of the engineering students in India. So, particularly in the AICTE approved technical institution across the country. Respect of the analysis, each of the online assessments, including those testing academic skills, those testing higher order thinking skills, may be used for comparing the students' outcomes. More specifically, each of the online assessments will be considered as unidimensional, reliable, and a good at measuring a range of student abilities. The vast majority of the items should also be demonstrated the psychometric characteristics of the student. So in PARAKH, the project is to evaluate the technical students of India and to assess their overall qualitative and quantitative growth during the course of the study in order to get a suitable employment. I just wanted to mention here the outcome and the major skills of the PARAKH. Let me share the presentation. So the vision is quite clear to motivate the bridging gap between the academics and the industry by providing a platform for the self-assessment of the knowledge for the 21st century. The mission is also quite clear. The PARAKH will enable the policymakers and the institutions to assess the global competitiveness of the students, faculty members, and stakeholders to trigger necessary interventions, creating a more effective system of education in the country. The major goals of the PARAKH is in line with the National Education Policy 2020. It provides the examining types of factors like institutional, faculty, instructional, curricular, students' behavioral, which help a student to develop skill for different type of institutions background. And developing the strong analytic, computational, quantitative, application-based, comprehensive, and information skill among the Indian students. Assessing and comparing the student skills, level of gains of the country at the country level. Creating mechanism to help the student to know their capabilities that can help the student to decide their professional career that is aligned with their interest choice of studies. So producing the skilled graduate by adding the high standard academic and aptitude skills. It also helps to identifying the recommendation and the intervention technique to the current educational system to enhance their proficiencies. The assessment is designed, a wide variety of question bank has been prepared and created by the subject expert from the different disciplines. Like mathematics, physics, core subject of skills, engineering and aptitude that can judge the student proficiency at various levels and critical thinking, critical logical reasoning to ensure the evolving needs of competencies with the time. This particular assessment is designed keeping in the mind the Bloom's taxonomy, the difficulty level, the veracity, and the weightage at the different level. 15 plus AdTech companies, 4,000 plus experts for the assessment item preparation, and 1,000 plus reviewers has created this portal and the question bank for the assessment. The various disciplines has been involved for in this PARAKH. Like in the engineering and core specific areas, the civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, electronics and communication engineering, computer science and engineering, mathematics, physics, chemistry, and as per other streams like NEP 2020. And I would like to mention here, the aptitude has also been involved in this PARAKH. Aptitude like the physical aptitude, the physical, the qualities, action or things are connected with the person's body rather than their mind. The mental abilities, the mental aptitude assessment are one such method used to assess the candidate's ability. And the integrity also, the integrity means the quality of a person that integrates his heart and his body. The social connect, the social thinking, and empathetically understanding, sustainability, all these aptitude has been measured in PARAKH, and not only this, in the management areas also, in MBA and PGDM, we are covering sales and marketing management, organizational behavior, information technology, operation management, and so many other like economics, disaster management. The assessment is designed to attempt the 100 questions in the 100 minutes. There will be no negative marking, no question swapping is allowed, but they can hold the question to attempt later on in their assessment timings. So it's quite interesting, and the outcome has also been provided in a star rating manner. We are not emphasizing, we are not disclosing the deficiency of the students. The assessments can be taken up by the institute also. They can also schedule this assessment for their students. The roles and responsibility are quite simpler. We are expecting the principal director of the institutions to assign a nodal officer, a single point of contact who can manage the PARAKH portal, who can assign the assessment for the students. Currently, we are just moving ahead. 1,425 institutes have registered from across the India. If we talk about the Maharashtra, so 954 eligible institutes, but so far 188 have registered the portal. So we want all your support and active participation and encouragement to register on the portal and taken up the assessments. And just wanted to give one more information, this action plan in our AICTE approval process handbook 2023, the registration of this PARAKH portal is also made as an essential item. So our humble request to all the academic leaders, so please encourage the registration and the assessment from the state of Maharashtra. Thank you so much for giving the opportunity. Thank you so much, Shivani. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir, for your kind words and motivate all the faculty members, institutes, and the students. Now I welcome our Honorable Chairman, Anil Buddhi, sir. Please address the gathering and a few kind words on the PARAKH portal so that all the students and the faculty members and all institute can take participation and take to the next level. Thank you. I welcome you, sir, on the behalf of Student Development Cell.
Thank you, Shivani. At the outset, I would like to welcome all of you to this very important initiative undertaken by AICTE called PARAKH. Sri Vikas Rastogi ji, Dr. Abhay Wagh, my own earlier colleague in AICTE, Dr. Malkhede, who is visible here, and my friend from other university colleges who are associated with this today in this platform. My colleague here, Dr. Amit Datta, and others. We started with this whole project called SLA, and we named it as PARAKH little later. The SLA stands for Students Learning Assessment. And this goes back to the TechWhip 3 part when we had Stanford studies and we had a project given to the University of Stanford to understand, assess the circuit branches, that is electronics and computer science students in terms of their learning abilities when they enter into the higher education, technical education, and how they go forward by the time they graduate, what happens. And that learning was very, very significant and important. And our entire team who were associated with this project in terms of Stanford Learning Assessment Project, we took it forward and wanted to create something of it, our own indigenous platform where we will be able to assess students as they join the engineering stream, as they pass through the first year, go into the second year, the third year, and then the final year. And this is having great significance with two very important things which we talk about, not only in the National New Education Policy, but also in general, that our students who graduate, they are found to be not so much employable. And this is the disdain which the industry bodies like FICCI, NASSCOM, they all keep talking about. So what is that it is missing in our curricula that the students are not found to be employable is to be addressed. And secondly, today our Honorable Prime Minister and everyone talks about startups. Yesterday itself, I was listening to the great startups which have been coming up in India, and it is becoming a startup ecosystem of a very high order. Today, we are the third largest startup ecosystem of the world, but very soon we will be second. And in about a decade or so, if we continue the speed at which we are moving, we will become the largest startup ecosystem of the world who will be creating jobs rather than seeking the jobs. But those intrinsic characteristics have to be understood. Those traits, those attitudes, aptitudes of the students have to be known well in advance so that we can motivate them, we can inspire them, we can guide them, we can make them blossom into the domain in which they are keen to follow their passion. And that is why tests of this nature become very significant and important. On the other side, the educational institutions where curriculum are delivered, where students teaching learning takes place, where students get opportunities to do their hands-on project or experiments, how are they shaping themselves to become prepared for the 21st century needs? I was a little late and I was watching Dr. Amit Datta explaining various facets of this. That is, the institutions do provide a lot of knowledge and information. How it is converted into wisdom is based on hands-on experience, observation of the students, and when they become innovative, that will convert that into real wisdom which is applicable to the society to solve the problems that exist in the society. And therefore, those skill sets which are essential amongst the students need to be understood, need to be found out where do they stand. And therefore, whether it is competencies of hands-on work, maybe someone is doing mechanical engineering, how much of his capabilities in terms of really doing machining by himself are tested. On the other side, how much information and knowledge he has on that field. And if we are asked to make a new design of a machine, lathe machine, is he capable of doing that? Is he able to innovate and create something new which is apart from what is existing today as a machine? Can he innovate and create a completely out of the box new equipment which would be useful, which would be more effective, more efficient? I think these are the things which we need to test from amongst our students. And therefore, their preparation, when they enter the engineering curriculum, mostly they would have done their 10th and 11th and 12th grade in physics, chemistry, and mathematics. And that is the core in engineering requirements before you start off. And therefore, their understanding of physics, can they apply that physics to maybe in mechanical engineering or maybe in electrical engineering? Similarly, the use of chemistry in chemical engineering, the use of mathematics in almost all fields of engineering. How much is their capability of not only having understood the subject and where and how much can they apply? This has to be tested when they enter into the system, that is in the first year itself. Therefore, when we are talking of student learning assessment, it starts from the scratch when they enter into the system based on their high school preparation. And that preparation is not from the engineering education. But as they enter, based on where they stand, what is the path one has to undertake so that at the fastest possible rate, each of the students can catch up and have the end result, that is the outcome of the education, almost at the same level. We will not be able to create everyone to be uniform exactly the same way, but at least in terms of outcomes that we desire, in terms of accreditation, when we say that a student who graduates in electronics must be able to maybe design VLSI circuit, will be in a position to fabricate, will be in a position to create a new product which will be using this VLSI design. I think this is the outcome which we desire from out of all the students. How much each one of them will be capable of doing is one which is reflected in terms of their grades, their percentage of marks, in terms of CGPA. But essentially, each one of them would have got honed some of these skills, and that practice of 4 years of education, how it has moved, will depend on the SLA or the PARAKH or the student learning that happens from time to time, and course correction which is required to be done. And that is why PARAKH is significant right from first year to fourth year. So you test the student when they come in, and if you find that a particular student is weak in mathematics or weak in physics, that indication has to go to the student. We give star rating. We don't say anyone as poor, but when they have come to engineering, they have some inbuilt knowledge, but they require to further improve upon that. And that indication is given through the score, which is absolutely confidentially given to that individual. So it is not that students will feel, that I'm too poor in front of all others and feel insulted or something like that. Should not happen. Is a due care taken that every student will receive a implementable scorecard based on which one can start the journey. So if I'm very good in already physics and chemistry and I'm poor in mathematics, it is an indication to me that I must struggle hard to understand mathematics much more than physics and chemistry, and my preparation hereafter should go in that direction. Similarly, at the end of the first year, when they are in the second year, they would have done some engineering subjects, so they will be tested on all of those subjects. And we have a huge question bank, which is randomly questions will pop up. There, as said, 100 questions will come, and you have time to solve. But if you are not knowing the answer, you can keep it on hold and come back to that question so that you have enough opportunity to solve as many questions as possible. And your rating based on your understanding of the subject is going to be displayed in terms of that star marking which you get it. And based on the star marking, you must be either happy, or if you are not satisfied, it means something is missing. This is essentially, I again repeat, self-introspection. No one is going to give you a certificate that you have failed or passed or anything. But when you get information about yourself, that is the judgment which each one has to take on oneself and then start the journey in the right direction. That is the help we are rendering through this parakh. या हम हिंदी में मराठी में सब में परखना परखणे जे म्हणतो ते ह्याच्यातनं फरक होता है. So मेरे ख्याल से परख is to understand individuals by themselves, one part. Second part is each institute, if at the institute level, some 500 students are asked to take the test, 100 of them in civil, 200 of them in computer science and so on, we get the information about average score of the students in many parameters based on the data analytics, so that the institute also learns that our students who are coming in from grade 12 from Maharashtra State Board of Examination, they are weak in mathematics and we have to strengthen their mathematics. It is not individual. If it was an individual, he may study more on the Swayam platform, may go to some person who is his classmate who is doing well in mathematics, learn from him, may go to an individual teacher. That is his personal journey. But as far as the institutional journey is concerned, if the average score of the students in mathematics is very poor, what interventions are required in order to strengthen the mathematics skills of the students has to be decided by the principal of the college, the dean of the university where the students are studying, because it is a collective problem that exists in the institution. Maybe either the teachers who are teaching mathematics are not making it so interesting that their performance there is poor, or when they come into the second or third year, maybe some students are doing very poorly in thermodynamics, but 90% of the students are doing well in thermodynamics. That means the problem is with the few students and not the whole class. Now, if 100% of the students are getting low scores in thermodynamics, then there are again two issues. Their preparation, which is required for thermodynamics, is not good enough, or our teachers of thermodynamics need to be trained in order to do it well, so that students start understanding the subject. So the right interventions to be done by the institutions in the respective college is also very important. Then secondly, apart from theoretical subjects and practical aspects of that, we are also designing questions where it is not merely the information, that means the subject matter, but understanding of the subject. As we said in terms of Bloom's taxonomy, the critical thinking, the analytical ability, questions which will create innovative mindset tested by of the students, and also communication skills, how they work in teams, all those parameters which industries, when they are employing students, look at. It is not just the knowledge of the subject, they look at several other aspects. Are you having the leadership quality to take care of 20 employees? That leadership is also required. But you are a lower level officer in an organization, you have to listen to your superiors. How do you work in teams? Are you accountable? Are you managing the time well? All these traits, indirectly or directly, are tested through the SLA project, and therefore it is not just the engineering skills that we are testing. We are testing managerial skills, we are testing the general aptitude, even the students' integrity, the level of the commitment that the student have. I remember when I had gone for SSB, Service Selection Board, we used to have a small, that time there was no PowerPoint presentation, but we used to have OHP, and one by one some pictures were shown, and you are asked to write a story on that, creative story. And based on the story that you write, the personality of the student or the candidate is tested, whether his integrity is high or not, whether he is negative attitude person or positive attitude person. So this particular test, although it is based on multiple choice questions, we'll also try to extract such data from out of students' learning that they are undertaking, their own philosophy of life, their own problem solving ability, their design principle thinking, all of that gets into it. And a holistic picture about a student and an institute will come up. And I'm sure this is very, very useful. And we are not charging a single penny. There is no penalty also on the other side. On the other hand, we are trying to promote it in the first place. And secondly, we are saying that it should be in the APH, we have said that all institutions should come on board, register, and ask your students to register. It is for your good. It is not for only my good, but it is for your good. This message has to go loud and clear. Every student who goes through this will understand what are the difficulties that a student has and how he has to overcome. Guidance can be taken from the mentors, and your journey of your life in the college will become beautiful, and your capabilities will improve, your competencies will improve, and at the end of 4 years, I'm sure you will be a confident citizen who will be contributing to nation building rather than becoming a burden on the society, on your parents. And that's why this is very, very useful tool for all of you, and for the same for the institute. If the institute wants, they're not 50% of the students getting placement from the college placement cell, but they want it to increase to 80%, 90%, they must put in their efforts in order to understand the weaknesses that exist in the institutional students, in the institutional faculty members. And that's why we are also appealing through this platform that even teachers should take this test. We are not going to announce that X teacher has got only 10% of the score and Y teacher has got 80%, and therefore X faculty is going to be belittled, Y faculty is going to be awarded. We are not doing that. X faculty will understand where the faculty is also lacking, and since you have accepted this as the profession, it is our endeavor to make it that we should become better and better. And by maybe 2-3 years struggle, a faculty who scored 10% in the SLA should become 80% in the years to come, 2 years down the line. He should also become the best teacher. We want every teacher to be the best teacher. So this is a journey for as much for the students, as much for the teachers as well. And so it is not only for students. I request even teachers to take the test. It is confidential. You will get the scores. You introspect yourself where you are missing and come forward. I think I have had enough of my talk on this particular aspect. If there are any questions which are there in the minds, these are wonderful question banks which we have created, 1.5 lakh plus. They are increasing day by day, and they have come from industry. They have come from some of the best faculty from different institutions. Companies who recruit students, they have given the questions. We have identified them into different levels, difficult ones, softer ones, and levels of in terms of first year level, second year level, third year level. Lot of stratification of questions is made, and these questions randomly will pop up. Same question will not come to the other student, and therefore there is no question of copying. And you can always keep taking this test even after 6 months time, 1 year time, and see if there is an improvement in your nature of learning that has happened or not happened, and go ahead. Thank you very much. Namaskar.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us and sharing motivation about the PARAKH. Thank you, sir. Now I invite our special guest, Professor Dilip Malkhade, Vice Chancellor Sant Gage Baba, Amravati University, for sharing his thoughts on the PARAKH. Sir was earlier in the AICT, so I welcome Professor Dilip, sir. Malkhade, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks a lot for organizing this wonderful webinar and very wonderful scheme. I'm really impressed. Thank you, sir, for inviting me, and it was a great thing to see you online. We have not met for many months now. Speaking about Chairman, sir, I am aware of this Stanford study which was being conducted. I think that was for a limited group of students. Limited institutions were involved in the process, and I think this is the initiative that is taken by AICT team itself, and I'm very happy that you're increasing the base and you're involving every single institution. Now my university is the university running, I'm a state funded university running all the types of program, including the technical. So of course we will try and see to it that every technical institution registers for it, but they are very limited in number. But around 370 institutions are running the programs which are not technical in nature. So is there a possibility of also involving those students, at least for the tests like aptitude test and testing their managerial skills? That's one thing I wanted to know. Second is, how is the result going to be announced? I mean, is it going to come to the head of the institution or the university? That's I would like to.
As far as the first part is concerned, is it over, Malkhade ji?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the first part is about other domains. Although we have started with earlier in Stanford study only electronics and communication and computer science. Gradually, we have added civil, mechanical, electrical, 5 core branches right now. We would certainly expand it to chemical, aerospace, automotive, etc. Major disciplines where there are large number of students. This is as far as engineering is concerned. There has been a demand. Ministry also wants that it is not necessary that only technical education should be catered. We also already have management. We are going to have tests for management students, whether it is PGDM or MBA students. But coming forward later, we would like to have even question banks created for arts, commerce, science, because we need to have the students learning or assessment in every domain. We do not have the expertise. We do not have the question bank as on date. That's why we cannot open. But the portal which is prepared is so robust that you can keep on adding new disciplines to that with stratified questions for the elementary year, second year, third year, and so on. Difficulty levels also, because the questions pop up based on the difficulty levels. Initially in simple questions, then more difficult, more and more difficult, etc. So those are to be done by the review process. The experts in that domain will give us that this question is a lighter one, this is a little heavier one and more difficult. So as long as they give this information, we can put it into right baskets there. And then automatically the software will pick up the right questions based on who is the student. If he is a second year student, the questions related with second year curriculum, second year level of only questions will be coming up. They're also easy, difficult, more difficult. They will all come in some random order, but they will be all mixed with that. So the same system and scheme can easily be taken forward for maybe architecture, pharmacy, that is technical field. It can also be taken to economics, psychology. We need huge question bank, and that is the real challenge. I will not commit that it will happen in the next immediate 1 year, but the target given by the ministry is AICTE has done a wonderful job for testing the learning assessment of students of engineering. Why not extend it to other domains also? So we are at it. It will take some time, but we will certainly evolve a methodology of not only this, but as I said, capability of each student is different. All students are not equal. Someone can be a good designer, someone can be a good manufacturing person, someone could be a good marketing man, someone could be a good taking care of maintenance of the equipment or the products that come out. So depending on the taste, flavor, attributes of each individual, if that information is available, one can take up a job of that nature and can excel in that. One can excel in any domain. And that is the spirit of the new national education policy, that each one should be allowed to blossom in the area of his or her choice. And this is one of those steps in that right direction. But it may take 5 years, I do not know, maybe 3 years, that we can add on more and more subjects. As far as the results are concerned, they are, as I said, given to an individual. And for an institution which gives, their 400, 500 students in one go for taking the test, and we know that every college student's name is associated with that college itself, then we can get data analytics done in terms of averaging the score of all the students and give to the institution head for that. So this is how results are going to be delivered to individual as well as collectively for a particular organization.
Sir, you will be very glad to know that we have started in work in the mission mode almost for implementation of choice-based credit system, which is not there in this curriculum currently. And we have also taken some of the features of NEP for implementation, and we are going to add implement it from the this academic year 22-23. So we have next 1.5 months, and we have done a lot of work, and maybe next 1.5 months we will be able to do that. Now, during this process, what we have also realized that the dropout rates in other domains, other than engineering and pharmacy, is huge. So if 1 lakh students enter into my system, around 60% of the students do not even get the degree. They just roll out without any degree. That's the number, which is not there in the technical education system. So, and therefore, unemployability is more in these domains, art, commerce, and other fields. Yes, sir.
Malkadiji, that is why in the new national education policy, exiting at the end of 1 year, 2 year philosophy which is embedded has to be made use of. And students who come into the system, maybe they are not capable of completing that particular program because of some weaknesses that they have. We must find out strength of each student, where every student has some weakness, some strength. So through such tests, we will be in a position to identify the strength, the competencies that a student has, and probably give additional bridge courses in the area of competencies which a student already has. Shape him well in that and give a certificate or a diploma and give him out so that he will become employable, he will be useful, he will also feel that I am good in something. You know, you say that you have failed and you have failed, you are not good, you are not good. Psychologically also, he will get even further down than what he is. And whereas motivating that student that you have these capabilities, maybe you don't know mathematics, how does it matter? You know painting well, so you become a great painter. You know, that is what these attributes have to be identified through such tests, shape them well, make them do little more on that front where they are already good at, and give a certificate in that domain. And that is the spirit of new national education policy when we talk about multiple entry, multiple exit. So all these credits which are earned should be kept. And every student or every citizen who has taken birth on this beautiful land can contribute somewhere or the other. Not necessarily everyone to be contributing in engineering, someone will contribute in something else. That spirit has to be taken forward.
Yeah, absolutely, sir. Thank you. Thank you. And this multiple entry, multiple exit is one of the features that we are implementing.
So I would like to see Mr. Vikas Rastogi ji is there. Dr. Abhay Wagh is there. So what are their take on this? I was not there from the beginning. I don't know whether they already spoke or they want to speak afterwards, have some queries. How do they help us in taking this forward?
Abhay, would you like to speak first?
Surely, sir. Surely, sir. Sir, thank you. Sir, today's webinar, Honorable Chief Guest of today's function webinar, I can say, Dr. Vikas Chandra Rastogi, sir, who is the Principal Secretary of Technical Education, Higher and Technical Education Department in the state of Maharashtra. He is, and I'm happy to share that everybody must be knowing him as since he has joined this portfolio, as he's also from IIT, he has done from his MS from Foreign University and all. So we are really happy to have him as a principal secretary, as a leader, and always taking positive initiatives towards all universities as far as concerned in whole the education system, and really a ecosystem which is developed in the state of Maharashtra. He is always a guiding force to us. Today's guest of honor, Dr. Sahasrabuddhe sir. Today's guest with me today, I can say Dr. Uddhav Bhosle ji, who is the Vice Chancellor, Dr. Dilip Malkede, who is the Vice Chancellor of Amravati ji, and Mr. Amit Datta, who is always in touch with me day-to-day basis, even you can say, as far as the initiatives of state and central and AICTE is concerned. And all, of course, my stakeholders and principals of the institution in the state of Maharashtra, the representatives. Dear friends, I'm really happy to be there on this seminar, and I congratulate all especially Dr. Sahasrabuddhe ji, Chairman of AICTE, and of course all officials of AICTE, even Amit Datta ji, for taking this wonderful initiative ahead as far as PARAKH portal is concerned. And I'm happy, even I know that since Sahasrabuddhe ji has joined this portfolio as a chairman AICTE, he has taken so many initiatives. Every year, I can notice that whenever APH comes, we have found something which is coming up which is in a really positive sense, I can say, a positive change toward the system, and to make the whole system overall a holistic approach, how it will be there in a student's overall teaching learning process that we observe every APH is the significant changes we observe. And really, sir, we congratulate you for that, those changes, what you are doing every year. Coming to today's topic of webinar, I will be happy rather to mention here that Honorable Principal Secretary Rastogi sir and Honorable Minister of the Uday Samant sir has taken a major initiative in the state of Maharashtra. As far as NEP is concerned, we all know that NEP, since it has come in, and the document since we received, states governments, of course, the state of Maharashtra immediately took it forwarded and made a committee under Dr. Mashelkar's chairmanship for the NEP implementation, wherein I was lucky to have myself as a member secretary. I got a chance to work in that committee. So I know the NEP document with a very close sight of mine. I have studied the whole document as such, all 9 chapters of them, and we have given a very comprehensive report to the state of Maharashtra. Even Honorable Principal Secretary has presented it in the cabinet, and I am happy to share you all that the cabinet has cleared that whole document, and the implementation part as far as actions of NEP, how the universities, right from restructuring, every issue up till the commercial, involved in those all resources has been taken care in that, and then certain committees have to be made, and the whole implementation plan in a 3 steps we will be going. Maharashtra will going forward. Number 1 is the some small, I can say, low hanging fruits, that is low resources can be catched up earlier, and then medium, and then larger one. Like that, we have categorized the action plan of NEP. That document is well available on website. I appeal all the stakeholders as well today of the state of Maharashtra, the principal sitting here in a webinar. Please go through that document. That will really help you for the betterment of the education system in the state of Maharashtra. Dear sir, I also want to mention here that when we talk, and Amit ji also said, and even Sastra Buddhe ji also said, when I've gone through the NEP document, and when we see really the upper 3 levels, when we talk about Bloom's taxonomy and really a creativity, evaluation, and the analysis process, are the engineering students really, we follow a mode, or moreover universities follow a mode of just to swallow the things and omit the things, like that the examination pattern is. But really NEP has really facilitating us in a wonderful way to create the thinkers, creators, and tomorrow's engineers should be creators, what we are wishing all, and that is what we observed in NEP, and we are also really chasing for that. Taking these all these inputs of 6 layers and upper 3 layers, especially of Bloom's taxonomy and all the NEP's, the reviews, I can only say that the learning resources, as far as today's contents are concerned, the categories, the learning skills, the literacy skills, and life skills are really missing. And that is what we are also appealing to all the vice chancellors and the leaders of the institutions, that really there are 4 types of learning skills, what we talk about: the critical learning, creativity, collaborations, and communications. This has to be involved. In a way, literacy skills, when I say the information literacy, media literacy, technology literacy has to be there. And when I say life skills, then the flexibility, leadership qualities, initiatives, productivity, and the social skills. So these 12 types of skills, if we really blend nicely into the teaching learning processes, when we really design the curriculum and the learning outcomes and the program outcomes, what we define, that will really help us for accreditations as well as the NAC of the institutions when we go further. Dear friends, talking to these all bullets, I will just connect today's PARAKH, what I observed, because today also I saw the presentation. Yesterday when I tried to log into this PARAKH, my personal some observations I will surely note here that it is really a wonderful tool, I can say. I congratulate all the AICT officials for that. As far as teaching assessment is concerned, it has been taken care here, and that assessment mode, especially if we see, it is in a very friendly manner. It has been taken care, especially when we see that the portal has really 1.5 lakhs of the questions which are available as a question in a question bank, and they randomly come with the difficulty levels. This is a really a wonderful thing I observed. More than, I think, more than 1 lakh students have been taken, I mean, have been registered for this particular program, and around some 55,000 students have completed their program on this, I mean the assessment on this, and they got some report card as well. As far as vision and this is concerned, it is very clear. Amit ji has also given it through its presentation. And engineering for specific Sastra Buddheji has, I mean, cleared a point that all these issues taking more disciplines in the PARAKH that he has offered, aptitude wise, emerging areas wise. It is a really fantastic tool, what I observe. Even a year-wise, I like that. In a levels and the streets are really fantastically mapped. In a whole, it is graded every year. If you see first year of engineering, you will find aptitudes and PCM level things are involved. If you see level 2, then it is aptitude and core engineering subjects are involved. If you level 3 and level 4, you have engineering aptitude as well as some emerging areas like AI and these areas are involved. So this is really a wonderful upgradation type of model. That is also a wonderful feature of what I observe on this portal. And the best part is that we know it's a really no limit is there. There is no time limit for that. You can have it whenever you want, and you appear for the test. Number of times you can appear for the test. Even faculties are appearing for the test. It's really a wonderful tool. No age limit is there. That is also a very important issue that I have noted here. And overall, a wide range of question banks, what I observe on this PARAKH. These are really a wonderful, I can say, the flexible model which is given to the student for their assessment. It is the inherent assessment we are doing of a student. And he is not somewhere in a pressure that I'm giving a test or something, and then the report card is developed to him, and he will try to really excel himself or herself from that report card. I think after giving these types of comments, I'll just try to give my some suggestions to this, because I observed that one expectation, Professor Sahasrabuddhe has already cleared that. Yes, it has to be really, excelled to all the other fraternities as well. I mean, the architectural and all engineering programs. So he already assured that they will be doing it. Secondly, a very important expectation-wise, if we really want to say that, then the the first year of diploma students has to be involved. Actually, what I found on that is the second year and third year of diplomas is given. Rather, state of Maharashtra needs really a first year of the student, though he's a 10th student, but it is highly, because this portal, when I see, it has started from 3rd, 5th and 9th level even. So 10th level, it is moreover, it will be very important if we really involve first year polytechnic students as well. So that will be a really good tool for the MSBT. That is my suggestion to you, because what we did in the state of Maharashtra earlier, before COVID, that in 1920, we have taken a pilot model of the polytechnics. 40 government polytechnics we took in a way. There are 40 polytechnics, state funded polytechnic, government polytechnic, wherein 30,000 plus students are there. Those 13,000 students have gone through a baseline test. What we did, because as Sastra Buddheji rightly mentioned, that they are poor in mathematics, and more of the students, they are poor in English, that is a communication skill. So we have conducted a very baseline test. How is it if a Jalna student is appearing, Gadchiroli student is appearing for the test, Mumbai student student and Pune student. So what are the reports generated were really important for us, and we studied a lot from that. And that wonderful study, what we call as a baseline test, we conducted, and we were able to really see that those students who were poor in those particular subjects, we then given them the remedial classes, and those remedial classes really helped them to improve their MSBT results. And finally, after 1920 and 2021, we found before even COVID, the results were improved because of that baseline test. I mean, same model, this has been given by the AICTE, wonderfully well carved out, wonderfully well designed. Parakh and मी सहस्त्रबुद्धे सरांना शेवटी एवढंच म्हणेल की खरंच हे मुलांना परखण्यासाठी हे केलेलं वंडरफुल टूल आहे असं मला वाटतं. I am really happy, and I am assuring you, sir, as you all know, whenever you speak to me, some initiatives come, you are also in touch with me always. So whenever some initiative AICTE comes with, Maharashtra is the rather first state to take it ahead. I am assuring you in the coming 8 to 10 days, you will find all 900 institutions will be on this portal, surely. Even the students will be on the active learners, you will find on that. Not even that, we will see that the journey of those students, and we'll keep you giving feedback. We'll give you the feedback how they are going through these phases. Here, let me tell you, I'll take 1 minute or so here onwards only, that Honorable Rastogi sir has taken a wonderful initiative in the state of Maharashtra. And we have signed one MOU with Infosys. Just to share with you, Sahasrabudhe Sarji, it is of 4,000 programs which are really costing highly in a market or a commercial way when we say those programs are, and 40,000 other programs for arts, commerce, science, even engineering graduates, we have given them a free of charge whole Infosys in a we can say they have given their CSR to us in a way. We have signed the MOU, and that the teaching learning platform is given to us for the students of the Maharashtra. And I'm happy to share you that on that platform, that is a Springboard. You must be knowing that Springboard platform. On that Springboard, today 6 lakhs plus students of engineering and polytechnics are registered. Even 40,000 faculty members have registered as on today, and active learners are also more than 10,000 students are there. So I'm happy that Maharashtra is taking such an initiative under leadership of Rastogi sir and we all. Sir, I'm really happy, Sahasrabudhe sir, for floating this PARAKH portal to the stakeholders of engineering graduates, and this will really show wonderful results as far as employability of the students are concerned. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
sir.
And since you mentioned Infosys Springboard, Dr. Chetan Samant is sitting with me from NESCOM, and we are in the process
Wonderful.
of signing another MOU with NESCOM on similar lines.
Thank you, sir.
Chairman AICTE, Shri Anil Sahasrabudhe ji, my colleagues, Dr. Dilip Malkare, Dr. Uddhav Bhosle, Dr. Arhabag, Amit Datta ji, who made a presentation about PARAKH, and all the participants, principals from various colleges here. I'm really happy to have the first introduction to PARAKH, and I think this is something which was really a felt need. And I can see the questions here. Somebody is asking whether it's available for pharmacy, somebody is asking for MBA. So one can understand the level of curiosity and desire for such kind of portal to be available for other streams as well. What I feel personally that when National Higher Education Qualification Framework has been released, wherein certain level of competencies have now been notified for every level for multiple entry, multiple exit, there has to be a robust mechanism to really assess whether a student who is passing out at a particular level after 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, how much is his or her level of understanding, level of learning outcomes, and to what skills he or she can be really confident of. The biggest problem that we have been facing is, although we have the best quality textbooks, reference materials, and also online lectures from some of the best faculties are available free of cost. But in terms of learnings, if you see, the results are not that promising. There could be multiple factors. AICT must have done some study also. I think Stanford assessment, I had a glance at the executive summary, which also brings out some of these issues, is either we are not able to impart that kind of high level of textbook, reference book inputs to the students, or somehow our assessments are not leading in terms of cajoling him to learn more. So such kind of stratified and well thought out questionnaire would certainly help a student to understand where he or she is and where he is supposed to go. But what I would also suggest is the faculty also needs to be engaged, because then they are the one who will try to bridge the gap. So if a particular student has a particular issue about certain concepts and certain subjects, then that faculty has to take that personalized interest and bridge that gap. So even though it is not a pass or fail kind of system, but I think since it is a continuous evaluation or maybe periodic once in 6 months or so, these results have to be take faculty on board, and the faculty should be able to spend that time. While we are discussing this, I had another thought, and since Chairman AICT is here, I think is the best person to probably guide us or take some initiative on that. Is when we, as a 11th or 12th class student, either one takes science or arts or commerce. Within science, one goes for physics, chemistry, mathematics, or physics, chemistry, biology. And the same time, the streams are decided almost. Now with PCM, one appears for IIT or for state CET, he would get a certain score. That certain score only gives what is his level of understanding of these 3 core subjects. Now that doesn't basically indicate which stream of engineering he or she will be good at. Now, depending on the admission process, he would get certain stream in certain college. And once he goes there, after maybe a year or so, realizes that this is not the area that probably he is interested in. But then there is no horizontal mobility. Although NEP has created a lot of flexible structures, but I think horizontal mobility is something which still somebody has to work upon. In US, if you want to take admission in a medical school, you simply have to join as a graduate student, and then maybe 2 years, 3 years down the line, that stream specialization will come in. But here, if we decide that you are in mechanical engineering and you realize that you are not probably not good at machines, then there's no way you can switch over to chemical or something else. So can we have a structure where, in any case, first year, many courses are common? So physics, chemistry would be there. There will be engineering, drawing, there will be manufacturing processes and things like that. And at the end of it, discussion with the faculty members and senior colleagues, one gets to know somehow as to what is basic trait or level of comfort with different disciplines. Can we have a more flexible structure of moving after first year or wherever it's possible? And that kind of horizontal flexibility is needed, I think, in almost all the streams. So that could be thought of at the Government of India level. In PARAKH, I see a lot of promise, although it's only beginning and certain engineering disciplines have been introduced so far. But as Sahasrabudhe sir clearly said, it's a portal. You can put as much as you want, depending on how many good faculty you can assemble and get those kind of questions made from them. So maybe UGC would like to take the cue, maybe Bar Council of India would like to take the cue and then use this portal. That's my express desire. But this kind of assessment and evaluation would certainly give a lot of confidence to the student when he or she goes for some placement or for taking up some assignment somewhere, would really know where he or she is lacking and then try to bridge that gap. So to that extent, PARAKH certainly is a, I think, novel opportunity for all of us. As just mentioned, we have, as a state of Maharashtra, we have around 130 institutions enrolled, but this number will certainly go up. We can assure you that with Infosys Springboard, within 2-3 months, we were able to enroll a lot of students and they are taking benefit of that. We will certainly take benefit of this initiative of AICTE and will also request AICTE to have discussion with UGC and other apex bodies so that they also utilize this portal and a larger proportion of a student community gets benefit, because technical students will not be more than 10% out of the total number of students enrolled in higher education sector. So I congratulate and wholeheartedly I thank Dr. Sahasrabuddhe, his team, Dr. Datta, everybody who has thought it out, conceived the idea and actually executed it. I have not yet had look at the portal as yet. I'll certainly do that, and that will probably give me some more understanding of what are the possible use cases. Thank you so much.
Because Rastogi, this horizontal mobility, as far as NEP is concerned, it is available. Now, how do we make use of it is a prowess that each one of us has to innovate. Because in universities, if all the students who have entered into a college, maybe 800 of them, all want to shift to computer science, maybe we will not be in a position to do. But it is based on critical understanding of students' interest. If certainly some students want to come, there must be flexibility in adopting to them, that you shift back. Maybe sometimes computer science students want to come to civil engineering. That is possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Because not everybody is cut out for computer science, even though they want.
He will realize it maybe 1 year, 2 years down the line. So whatever courses he has done, they are all recorded in the academic bank of credit. And the remaining ones which are necessary to earn a degree in that particular discipline, they have to do it, as simple as that. So I think this flexibility is already in a way inbuilt. Now it is the universities who have to create statutes or ordinances, rules. And as I said, all of them want to do computer science. Maybe it's not possible. They don't have that many faculty to teach, that many systems, that many software to give them training. And so there can be some plus or minus, 10% can be allowed, whatever. Some rule regulation may be made, and this flexibility should be put to use as effectively as possible for the betterment of our students.
Yes, great. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Vikas, sir. Now I welcome Dr. Ajit Singh to give the vote of thanks to all dignitaries. So I request Mr. Dr. Ajit Singh, Regional Officer, Assistant Director, WRO. Sir, kindly give the vote of thanks to all dignitaries, and thank you all from our side to give a lot of about the PARAKH and more sensitization in the Maharashtra and Goa state. I thank you, Sahasrabuddhe sir, Amit Datta sir. Now I call Mr. Dr. Ajit Singh, Regional Officer.
Thank you, Shivani ji. Chief guest of today's program, respected Shri Vikas Rastogi ji, Principal Secretary, Higher and Technical Education, Government of Maharashtra. Respected Professor Anil Sahasrabuddhe ji, Chairman, AICTE. Respected Professor Dilip Malkhede ji, Vice Chancellor, Sant Gadge Baba, Amravati University. Respected Professor Uddhav Bhosle ji, Vice Chancellor, Swami Ramanand Tirth, Marathwada University. Respected Dr. Abhay Bagji, Director, Technical Education, Government of Maharashtra. Participants from various institutions and students. Very good evening to all of you. It is my honor and privilege to propose vote of thanks on behalf of AICTE to all the eminent dignitaries and the participants present in this program. First of all, I would like to express my gratitude and most sincere thanks to our chief guest, Shri Vikas Rastogi ji, who blessed us with his presence in this program in spite of his very busy schedule. Today we had an opportunity to hear your thoughts, and this will surely be going to encourage us in our future events. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. It's my fortune to thank Honorable Chairman, sir, who himself is an ocean of knowledge and keep on pouring inspiration and motivation on us. I'm thankful to you for the deep and intellectual way of imparting knowledge on the participants, and that added the glory to this webinar. I'm also thankful to Professor Dilip Malkhede ji, Professor Uddhav Bhosle ji, Dr. Abhay Wagh ji for their valuable address and time. I am thankful to all the participants of this webinar, without whom this program could not be possible. Thank you all for your participation. Last but not the least, I am thankful to whole team of Student Development Cell, especially Dr. Amit Datta ji and the technical staff who worked tirelessly to organize this event successfully. Thank you all for your support. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. Pranam.
Abhi. Thank you all. Sir, can we close the meeting? Okay. Okay. Thank you all for joining.